And back to Fallbrook we go. Had to run around a bit because you cannot fast travel near hostiles. And I had no idea where the hostiles were. I just kind of ran around a bit till it stopped saying that. So far, I've mostly just kind of been an enabler for everybody. For my own benefit.
Hey, Cass. Knock, knock.
Go away, White.
That's not how the game works. I say, knock, knock, like I'm on the outside of a door. And you say...
I swear to the architect, I will punch your lamps out.
Oh, having a rough day?
I lost a shipment out for delivery. Barely made it out. Marauders got Keeley.
Ooh, Catherine is gonna flay the skin from your fingers.
I know.
Oh, we've heard that conversation before. I totally thought these people were talking at first till I heard the other voice, and I'm like, hang on a minute. This doesn't work. It'll be interesting to see what everyone does now.
I like her.
I've kind of helped everyone with their goals. The main choice I've probably made was siding with Nora more than Graham, but yeah, everything feels weirdly unresolved. I wonder if it's gonna go anywhere?
Please say the Oda corpse you're wearing is Clive's.
Good news, I butchered Clive and threw a wrench in the machinery.
And when you destroyed my machinery, was it before or after you killed Clive? Because you understand, if it was after, on second thought, don't even tell me. We'll just say I'm doubly grateful. Though there's no double reward. Still, this ought to compensate for your troubles. And take an aromatic. You stink like Sisty Pig.
I found one of your sublight supply runners hiding in a cave.
I'll presume you mean Arthur, the one you sent scurrying back like a sprat with his tail cut off? Reckon I'm happy he's alive. I'd be happier if the marauders who botched my drop were dead.
Took care of your little drug running problem.
Funny you don't look like Nelson Mason. Funnier still, I wasn't aware of an existing problem.
He tried to cut costs by using sprats instead of autoloaders for transport.
That dunderhead. Can't hardly fathom how that panned out. Let me guess, it involved blood and guts and fur in places that don't merit mention. Well, you got my begrudging gratitude for cleaning the mess.
I don't think sprats have fur. I'd like a room?
I take it you don't have a reservation. No matter, I keep a suite of VIP rooms for visitors of your, let's call it a certain means. The VIP rooms charge by the night, but for you, I'll make it a one-time fee. Got a feeling you'll make me a fine investment.
For 228, consider it sold.
Marvelous, do take care of the place. Maid service won't clean after a murder.
That's enough for now. Don't particularly care about a room, but that's not a lot of money, and I'm kind of curious if there's anything to come of it. I guess this isn't it. I don't even think I know where the room would be.
Glad you made it out. Hope you got the bastards that hit us.
Hey there, Exterminator. Glad you showed up to take care of those mantis swarms. I hate those fucking things.
I don't care that much, I guess. I'm not really sure where the room would even be. Nope, next step is we're going back to Radio Free Monarch. You cannot fast travel at this time. Oh, because I was in midair. Right, that would do it. Maybe it'll be when I talk to this guy. Is when story will progress. Or maybe it'll be when I do the next planet, or maybe it'll be just when I leave the planet. You get like a call. Ada's like, oh, there's comms from Monarch, blah blah blah, and like you reach the next story thing. Because it could be like the expansion to Pillars of Eternity, where you need to leave and then come back, and then this world state will have changed as a result of where you went with things. At the moment, I'm basically in the good graces of everybody. Except the guy I shot in the face a minute ago. Most of them aren't overtly objectionable, but they all have issues.
Do you hear that? It's the blessed sound of radio silence, which leads me to believe you have sweet, sweet news for me.
MSI and the Iconoclast are no longer transmitting. Is the data ready?
Yes, indeed. I am back in business. But before we get down to it, might I ask how you handled the problem? In the end?
Does it matter? Job's done.
Is that so?
I helped both MSI and the Iconoclast get what they wanted.
I don't know how. The two are diametrically opposed and impossible to please. But it matters not how you fixed my problem, only that you did. I don't doubt that you are working with Phineas, but my contract specifies I relay any acquired information to the purchaser, and to the purchaser alone. However, to send the data, I will need your assistance in cycling the antenna's receiver, so I can input the needed adjustments.
Phineas doesn't trust many people. How'd he hook up with you?
You make it sound so scandalous. Phineas has been in hiding for the past 35 years. He got in touch with Nyoka first, who I use as a physical go-between. The rest is history.
Now you hold on. I do not physically go between anyone but that of my choose. Oh, apologies. You meant, right. Yes, I braved the wilderness so you don't have to.
Precisely. I really ought to give you a raise.
Sounds a lot like you're not going to. And I bet I have a whole new checklist of crap to do before it works, right?
Ugh, don't be ridiculous. We're resetting a broadcast tower, not filing taxes. There are no errands, spreadsheets, or rituals involved. It's simple, truly. I merely need you to waltz outside and throw the lever to cycle the power. I'll key in the numerical adjustments from in here.
Got it.
Terrific. I'll be here, waiting with bated breath. Give a shout if the panel electrocutes you.
And then he locks me out. Then he betrays me. The dissident hunter. Are you supposed to think that's the good guy? Because he looks like the villain. Oh yeah, I've seen this before.
Testing 1, 2, check. Sweet stars. But that is a beautiful sound. Can you hear me? We are a go for broadcast. Oh, and I also dispatched Phineas his data. Impatient prick. Worse, I'm now indebted to him for it. Now I'll kindly thank you to get out of my tower.
Don't make me come back in there.
There's no need to assert your dominance. I doubt I could make you do anything you don't wish to. Look, I am well aware that at times I may have the tiniest iota of a prickly exterior, but I must admit I have grown rather fond of you. As Nyoka can attest, I do not form attachments with many. Do take care.
Why, he told us to leave without flinging insults at our persons. He really does like you, Captain.
Anyone else hear a high-pitched whining? Did I get tinnitus, or is that just Hiram?
Black holes. Did you see that?
Whose ship was that?
Looks like a UDL ship. Based on the gunnery attachments, I guess it's one of the board's blockade enforcers, but don't cite me on that. Oh well, a pity for the crew, but I can't see how it affects me.
Hiram? Can you hear me? Did you see that?
Architect, save me from swindlers and fools. Sanjar, what are you bloody doing on my channel? Did MSI or did MSI not cease broadcasting?
Yes, but... Hiram! Hiram, are you there?
Oh, it's a reunion, group hug.
Not without a physical contact waiver. Ah, the good captain. The truth brings us together once more. Our salvation has come crashing through the stratosphere. We need only collect its weapons. Are you mad? That's a UDL gunship. You'd probably shoot your own toes off.
You're acting like children.
Par for the course, really. You should do like I did. Get out while you still retain a shred of sanity. We could use the gunship's armaments to defend Stellar Bay, but we need its targeting module. Our message is so close to breaking free of this planet and spreading to the stars. Help us secure that module and we will save our colony. Listen, I don't care a single whit what you do so long as you leave me out of it. Which means, get off my bored damn channel. I'm more than finished with you lot.
Aw, we restored the new station. Are they gonna start playing like tunes from the 20s? Where did the ship land? Way the hell out there, evidently. Okay. Let's go visit a familiar spot. That is not where it looked like it landed from where I'm standing. I could be wrong, though. Or I was there, actually, yeah. I was still thinking that I was way the hell over there, but that's not where his station is. Okay. Question answered about the structure of this particular planet. There's an inciting incident that's going to happen, and here it is. And the game crashed. 3 cheers. Hey, you know that crash thing? If you could just like not do that this time, that'd be nice. We're about to find out. Is it something here? Like, does the game crash when it like loads? Okay, yep, there it goes. Oh, that could be bad. Oh, that could be bad. Does it crash every time I approach the crash? Can it not load the crash? Because like it's really not good for my ability to finish the story, seeing as it's a mandatory main mission, right? Alright, we're gonna hope it's not that. I've now gone to Terra 1 Publications instead. And the hope is that maybe it won't crash here. Oh, who's fighting who here? Damn. How you guys doing? MSI are having a bad time, huh? I guess they're holding this place. They're doing alright at that. I'm really hoping that as I approach the crash from the south, my game doesn't crash. But it might be that the act of trying to load the crash is crashing the game. Or maybe it's just something off by that waypoint. Maybe I can just avoid that corner of the map from now on. Even though I've been there before, so that really helps indicate the idea that it might be the crash itself, which is worrying. I don't know. Let's double check. Is this... Retrieve the gunship's targeting module. Yep, that's the main story. Right? What's Cannon's Cradle? Oh, that's not... Oh. Speak with Phineas. Technically, this is an optional mission, then. It's the culmination of this entire planet. It'd really suck to skip this mission. But technically, I can still progress the story if this is like an unbeatable crash. Uh-oh. This might hurt. Ouchies. Leg damage. You guys have so much wildlife. Oh, there's the ship. That's a good sign. I can see it.
Take your best shot, asshole.
Hey, hey, hey. You shooting me? Well, this thing's a mess. Oops, meant to hit R. Just press like the attack buttons, guys. I gotta get closer. There you go. You guys are really busy back there, huh? I guess it is called a Colossus. That sounds kind of important. There you go. Everyone good? Hello. I'm glad we're able to get here without the game crashing. I was really worried.
You go on ahead, Captain. I'm not keen on ships, even when they're in the best of shape.
Me too. You know corpses shit themselves, right? Enjoy the smell.
You're not keen on ships? Don't you? You've been on my ship. We've gone off planet before. Ship ID, the Cantankerous Canid. Error. Captain Matsu's captain key is active, but his life signs are no longer detected on the bridge. Locking flight hours while not present for duty is a violation of UDL policy. Oh, it's chastising the dead person. Eject his command key. Error. Captain Matsu's keycard has been removed. The current time is error, which indicates the captain's shift is still ongoing. Failure to report to duty is a violation of UDL policy. Run diagnostics. Main terminal online. Bridge controls offline. Engines technically functional. Hull integrity. Don't ask. This Mark IV gunship's operational parameters have exceeded acceptable damage ranges. The cost of any repairs necessary at your nearest UDL repair facility will be averaged amongst the crew. View logs. Unable to access central log storage. Only the most recent entries in Captain Matsu's logs are available. November 12th, 2354. CE is saying something about spare regulator bypass something something. Chikusho. I'm turning this thing towards the groundbreaker, firing the engines and retiring. Better to be arrested than lose power and drift out into space. I just hope this old bird can handle one last trip. December 21st. How in this law-forsaken colony is it so impossible to requisition parts? My chief engineer is barking at me to order yet another damn thing, and I can't even get a response from corporate. January 3rd. Another day, another ship lands on Terra 1, and we can't shoot them down. That makes... I've lost count. What's the point of being out here if we can't get some backup? Start Mayday message playback.
Hello, my name's Jen. I'm the chief engineer on this gunship, and I'd like to let the record show that our captain is a total fucking hullhead. I told him again and again that without fixing our regulators, spinning up the engines are going to blow through our coils and we'll go flying off in a completely random direction. Well, here we are. Thinking we'll hit soil in about 30 seconds. This is your chief engineer signing off for what is probably the last time. It's a shame you can't see this middle finger I'm holding up, because I'm doing it as hard as I can.
Wow. Spite right to her dying breath. She was so deeply frustrated at this whole thing that that was her dying thought and gesture. Was just a big ol' fuck you. That's kind of incredible, honestly. So they didn't do proper maintenance and the thing fired off in a random direction, so they crashed into the planet. What do these two things do? Oh, I activate here, then flip that, I'm sure. Yeah. What a completely readable computer terminal. Wait, is it bleeding off the left screen onto the right screen? Oh my god, that's one of the worst ones I've ever seen. Yeah. It's always nuts. It always bothers me in sci-fi. There's like 50 screens around and like you can't read anything on any of them basically. And it's just like, how could anyone use these in universe? But in this case, like the text bleeds over to the other screen. Like that would be such a headache. Ooh, let's touch it with our bare hands. Zombie cancer. Hey everybody.
What's up? Sure. All right.
Really, no thoughts?
Something on your mind?
You guys don't seem to have any thoughts about the fact that I have this really important thing here. Yeah, so that was MSI fighting the Iconoclasts over that place. So that was them at war. That was the first. I had to double check because I have to remember the faction name sometimes. Because it'd be easier if they called them Stellar Bay Guards or something instead of MSI. But yeah, that was MSI and the Iconoclasts fighting. The Iconoclasts obliterated the MSI. But the true conflict has already begun on the way in. I've just got to come up with any kind of concrete plan of who I'd like to side with. I'm a bit torn for a few different reasons. Stellar Bay is definitely better than Spacer's Choice. But I think the idea of reforming the board from the inside is like not even remotely reasonable. Because they're just such pieces of shit. There's no like version of this where you can like turn them into like people who care about their workers all of a sudden. But at the same time, Graham's awful. I want to see if I can talk to Zoya instead. Zoya? Where is she?
Captain, we should chat. Graham's got the right idea, but he isn't the right guy to execute it. I don't even think he's motivated by philosophism anymore. I think he's just guilt-ridden. I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I keep going over and over it in my head, and the only way I see the Iconoclast surviving is we depose him.
What happened to them not having leaders? Because they sure have leaders for people that don't have leaders. And you'd run it in his stead?
Yeah. Hell, most of our people listen to me already.
And what's next? What will you do when you're in charge?
Take Stellar Bay. Lick our wounds. Eventually, figure out how the hell we're going to spread the word to the rest of the colony.
The Iconoclasts may take your orders, but most of them believe in him and his teachings.
Sometimes, you gotta do what's best for someone, even if they think you're wrong. Even if it's painful. When we're in Stellar Bay, they'll come around.
Fair enough.
I'm going to confront him. Can I count on your support?
Yeah, let's go talk to him.
Okay. Deep breaths. This is what's best, Sora. Time to save Monarch.
I'm not sure I want to take Stellar Bay, though.
Captain, you must be back with the access codes to our new ship.
Graham, we need to talk.
We have work to do. This isn't the time for one of our spats.
Stand down, Graham.
Stand down? I'm afraid I don't understand, Captain.
You're running the Iconoclast into the ground, and I don't believe it'll get better after we take Stellar Bay. The troops take orders from me already, and you've brought me as far as you can down the eternal path. It's time to step down.
The troops? Listen to you. This isn't an army. They aren't soldiers. They're believers, followers. They pick up a gun because you tell them to, not because they want to. And you, Captain, after all you've done for me, for us, you throw behind this mutinous blasphemer?
I do. She's got the best interests of the Iconoclast at heart.
I built this movement from the ground up. I've brought freedom to Monarch, and all these years later, we're still free.
I joined because I believed that you were in it for the Iconoclasts. That you wanted nothing more than to bring freedom to Halcyon. That you were selfless. But I know the truth now, Graham. I know what happened in Amber Heights. You didn't start this movement because you wanted to save us. You wanted to save yourself.
No.
Those deaths are on your hands, Graham. No amount of meditating will clean them.
I've spent years atoning for my sins. I've studied, meditated, taught. I built the Iconoclast so that any man could cast away his past for a fresh start.
That's your answer, Graham? You needed a fresh start? After all those innocent lives? I'm sorry. I believed in you once. I did. But it's over. Stand down.
I won't. What happened back then was a mistake, and the colony has moved on. This is my movement. These are my people. If you want to lead them, you'll have to kill me.
That isn't necessary.
Please, don't make me do this, Graham.
If this is where my path ends, I accept it. But as long as I draw breath, I will not abandon them.
So be it.
Chosen poorly, Graham. Jesus.
What's up, and I won't have any new battle scars.
That's a pose. That's a very strange pose he landed in. The board reputation increased. Oh, I don't like that. The board are now Why would the fuck would they be agreeable? Did they forget I sabotaged an entire organization of theirs? What is up with the reputations in this game? I mean, everybody else fucking loves me. There's Sublight Salvage, they love me. Monarch loves me. Iconoclast, Groundbreaker. The board is now agreeable. Anti-Cleo, eh. The Borscht Factory finds me off-putting because I went through and shot them all. Deserters revere me. Those are the Edgewater, yeah. And Spacer's Choice even pretty mostly likes me. I sabotaged. What the fuck is this reputation system? I took out their entire base and they're like, yeah, he's alright. He's just a little but he's alright. I wasn't wearing my proper gear.
Well, Captain, here we are. Killed a lot of people in the name of the Iconoclasts, and it never feels right. But this time, it's especially wrong. You've got the... Void held me. I'll never remember what that thing is called. The device from the ship. Do you have it?
Hold on. I was thinking you and Sanjar could join forces.
I've thought about it, but I think we're too far gone. Pulling Carlotta's support was crossing a line.
Neither of you can afford this fight. Monarch's going to devour the victor.
Yeah, well, we'll die Fuck. I sound like Graham. Throwing lives at a problem. I've lost a hell of a lot to this fight. Graham would never agree to this, but I'm starting to realize how often he led us astray. All right. If he's willing to talk, I'll give him a chance.
I'll see what I can do. Hello. Significantly better new option. Okay. So helping out Zora and her apparent reasonableness has panned out, even though she had her little creepy elements that suggested that she was, like, gung-ho to go murder people. She came off as more militant than Graham, but it seems like that might have actually been Graham's fault. Like, Graham's influence on her and what he was having her do. She was always also talking about the human cost of things, and that should be what I can appeal to her on.
If the Iconoclasts reach that ship first, there won't be any chance for a peaceful monarch. I don't suppose you've found the targeting module yet. I've sent patrols, but they're running into trouble with the Iconoclasts.
Why do you need the targeting module?
Well, because the module controls the weapons systems.
I mean, why do you need the gunship's weapon systems?
Because once we mount them on Stellar Bay's walls, no Marauder or Raptidon will ever be a threat to us again. Stellar Bay will be as secure as any other settlement in Halcyon.
I don't see how UDL is going to let you keep their toys.
The board's own salvage and recovery clause 32B would say differently.
And they won't dare challenge us over this. Not after the data you found on their experiments here.
Just don't ask me to lug a bunch of cannons from that ship, too.
Don't worry. We'll send an engineering team for those later. We'll have to disconnect them from the rest of the ship.
Of course, they'll be useless without that targeting module, which is why it's critical that you retrieve it.
These weapons sound pretty powerful.
Which is also why we can't let the Iconoclasts get them.
What's so bad about the Iconoclasts reaching the gunship?
Can you imagine what those maniacs would do with weapons like that? They'd wreak havoc.
Or they go and get themselves killed. Then they're not your problem anymore.
The board would consider us complicit in any of their folly. That would only get us ousted again.
And roll back all the progress we've made at reconciling with the rest of Halcyon.
Maybe things need a shakeup.
This would be more than a shakeup. Even if they merely sat on the scraps, the threat of a bunch of anarchists holding a gunship would bring the full wrath of the board down on Monarch. We can't afford that.
I'm skeptical they'd care enough to wipe us out, but if they did, we wouldn't stand a chance.
Ah, you see our quandary then.
Just put me between you and them. Apparently I'm invulnerable. Enough about the gunship.
Good, because we haven't a moment to lose.
According to the ship's log, they suffered some kind of malfunction.
That's surprising. The board's equipment is usually in top shape. After all, they have first access to any fresh parts or components.
Perhaps there's something deeper going on.
A conspiracy? You've spent too much time around Graham.
Could you agree to a truce with the Iconoclasts?
They're all mad! And what's more, they left us! I don't see any way for us to work together.
I've read your reviews, Sanjar. You can't do this alone.
Not this again.
Remember what we practiced, sir.
Yes. The words in those reviews were very hurtful, but they do not define me. I am a mantipillar, and my will is my cocoon. I can emerge and become whatever I wish.
The people who wrote your reviews are the same type of people you'll deal with on the board.
I hadn't thought of it that way. Perhaps you have a point. Supposing you're right, who exactly would you have me work with? The iconoclasts are not the most compromising sorts.
How did things get so bad between you and the iconoclasts?
Oh, how do these things ever start? Once upon a time, Graham and I saw the same problems with MSI. A rigid corporate structure with no regard for its people. But where I wanted to reform MSI, he only wanted to take it apart. As if starving in the wilderness is somehow better than starving under corporate mismanagement. He wouldn't hear reason, and I doubt any of his successors will either.
Zora leads the iconoclasts now. What about her?
That's an interesting suggestion. I confess I don't know much about her except that she worked for Rizzo.
There ain't a body on this planet that can keep a group patched up like she has. I don't know how she does it.
I'd be willing to consider it, but I need to see her review first.
Are you serious?
One can't be haphazard about these things. Besides, if you think her skills will complement mine, then we should see what those skills are.
Fine.
Excellent. Her review would be in the Rizzo offices in Cascadia. Bring it to me, and I'll see if she's qualified.
I'll let you know when I've made progress. That's not where I thought this was going, but I probably should have seen it coming. So we might be able to get these people to work together, which, as I was saying from like the get-go, like, they're both against the board and its practices. They both want better things for everyone. They want workers to have better lives. They want less abuse and so on. And also want to survive on this planet. Like, all these things combine to, like, make them more allies than opponents in the grand scheme of things. Motherfucker, the game just crashed. But, like, they're more allied than opponents at this point, so, like, it would just be nice if we could get them to overlook their differences a bit, because, yeah, from the board's perspective, they're practically the same thing. Alright, the saga continues. I have tried to teleport to Cascadia twice, and both times the game has crashed, so now I'm gonna try to walk to Cascadia, which will totally work just fine. Going that, there's a lot of waypoints right now, because it's all the optional ones. So either this works, or I'm in deep shit, and I don't really like thinking about that. I just want this, I would just really like this playthrough to work, and this game to work, please. I don't know why the stability got so much worse. The new patch must have really fucked with things, I guess. Oh, there's a lot of enemies. Okay, the game crashed again. What do I do? Do I continue forward and just, like, awkwardly leave this plot point for later and continue with the main story, even though it feels like it's the type of thing that might affect the main story in one way? I don't know. It would be really incoherent to leave and do something else. But, like, Monarch's fucked. The new patch seems to just make the game just crash constantly. There's been so many crashes this episode that I'm considering maybe just playing a different game and coming back later after I've probably beaten an entire other RPG to then pick this one up again and try to remember where we were left off. Which, considering we're mostly finishing a planet, I don't have that much to remember. All my quest log's pretty clean right now, so it wouldn't be that hard to pick it back up later. But, like, I don't know if it's the newest patch or something, but, like, I've never crashed on Monarch, I don't think, or maybe once or something, but now I'm crashing like 6 times an episode. It's like, this is not sustainable. I might start the next game and then come back after I play that game, because this is a mess. All right, I've done a computer restart. I've set all of the graphics to the lowest possible setting. I'm just gonna hope that one of those two things maybe helps, because I don't know what else to do. The game just doesn't work. I don't know what to do about the game just not working. I don't know if it's the new patch or if it's all the world state changes that are being brought on by my progress through the story, or what. Just don't crash, game. Don't crash. Ah! Oh, hi.
To shreds, you say?
We really attracted some attention here, didn't we? I'm sorry, this is the lowest graphic settings? Like, I'm not imagining that, am I? I didn't even, I don't see a difference. The game looks the same to me.
That's the last of them.
Like, I might, nope, it crashed. Yeah, I just can't go there. Okay. Fuck. I just don't, like, have a clear protocol for this kind of thing on this channel. I'm just kind of flailing a little bit, just thinking about what to do. Because I don't think this has ever happened. I've largely discontinued games for, like, reasons related to, like, the game being just too bad, or having systematic level things where it's just so grind heavy that it's just like, this is just not reasonable to finish or something, or too hard in the case of, like, 1 or 2 games. But, like, this one's just dead. It doesn't work. It crumbles in my hands and vanishes from existence, sending me back to the computer desktop. Huh. It's rough because I just kind of I don't necessarily know where to even begin with troubleshooting this. I don't want to, but I also don't want to stop the series, obviously. But, I don't know, I think I might start something else. And we might come back to this after that and see if patches have left it in a better spot or not. Because, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. The game it just ceases to exist when I'm playing it. It just goes away. When I'm trying to finish the story of this planet. I don't want to leave this planet without finishing its story. That'd be stupid. So let's see if we can... Let's see if a hiatus does this game good. Maybe the developers will become aware of these kinds of bugs and they'll do something about it. Because a big update just came out, so maybe we have to wait for some hot fixes. I don't know. I'll see you guys next time. Disappointing. We're in the middle of, like, a climax.